What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. 2 in 2 days. We are back. High five. If you are enjoying these videos though, guys, and you want to see us posting constantly, which we're going to be, but you want to support the channel, please do us a massive favour. Hit that like button on this video. Let's try and hit 1,500 likes. That'll be a hard goal to hit.
It will be.
But let's try it. Yeah?
Yeah. Also, I'm going to plug it here. In the link, in the description, is a link to our GoFundMe if you guys do want to support the channel and our trip to America.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be next April.
Obviously, if you guys don't care, just ignore me right now. But if you do care and you do want to support the channel and you can support the channel, we really appreciate it.
We're basically wanting to be consistent. Obviously, we want to go to America. We want to do all the vlogs again, which a lot of you guys loved. We obviously loved as well. So yeah, all the support. But liking the video, commenting, even just saying have a great day or whatever. Or if you comment about the video, even better. It helps push the video, so we do really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
That would make
our day. Why are
day.
you not subscribed?
Yeah, why are you not? If you're watching it, why not?
Joking, fair play to not being subscribed because we've been lacking. We've been slacking. We'll forgive you, but now we're
subscribe
on it.
now.
You got to be on
back.
it too.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get into it. So this video, I don't even know if I've said it yet, is the worst winter storms of Christmas past in America.
Okay.
They're going to be bad, I imagine. Let's go.
Hey everyone, Steve here. Welcome back to Weather Box. And today, in honor of the holiday season, it's going to get a little cold.
The ice smells.
The odds of having a white Christmas vary wildly across North America, and everywhere you look, the data used to create maps such as this one is inconsistent at best.
Okay.
While it's true that you have less than a 5% chance of seeing snow on Christmas in Corpus Christi, it's not a guarantee that you won't. And with cyclical climatic factors such as La Nina, it does occasionally happen. Today we're going to look at some of the worst historical winter storms in the US that resulted in a considerably white Christmas. Now, this is not a comprehensive list. I have 7 diverse snowstorms here for you today, and if you think I missed an important one, be sure to share it with us in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know if you
First
missed
is the
any.
Denver snowstorm of 1982. Denver gets a
when you need to use a snowblower, you know it's a bad snowstorm. Do you know what I mean? We've never, in Jersey at least, had the need for a snowblower.
No,
we won about the 13 years ago thing, weren't we?
I think we would have needed one had it have been not just a one-off.
Yeah, in the last 10 years though.
Yeah.
The last 10 years has not been a single day where it's been needed.
Modest amount of snow each year, about 55
That's
inches
crazy.
total. Most of it actually falls in the months of March and April, but their snowfalls are usually much smaller amounts spread over a period of about 6 months. When you look at Denver geographically, it's a very interesting feat that a major snowstorm could occur there. It's located on the leeward side of the Rocky Mountains, which is significant. Westerly winds from the Pacific Ocean flow up and over the Rockies, and the moisture leaves the air as rain and snow on the western side. This creates what is known as a rain shadow on the eastern side, which is where Denver is located. So in order to have a lot of snow drop on Denver in a short period of time, you need winds to blow out of the east. This can happen one of 2 ways. The flow of air around high pressure systems is clockwise, while the flow around low pressure systems is counterclockwise. So if there is a high pressure system to the north or a low pressure system to the south, winds will be blowing out of the east. The next ingredient is moisture that can condense and freeze into snow as the air moves up the mountainside. This is where the low pressure system has the advantage. The general weather pattern that causes this involves moisture surging north from the Gulf over the Great Plains. Then, due to the warm Gulf air...
That's why when you get tornadoes, isn't it, when this happens? That's why you get like the alley, because the heat and the cold. I like we're having a little science lesson here, because I'm useless at science.
Yeah, me too.
So it's good to learn it.
Involves moisture surging north from the Gulf over the Great Plains. Then, due to the warm Gulf air clashing with cold, dry Rocky Mountain air, a mid-latitude cyclone can spin up on the border, which moves that moist air counterclockwise around the low center. This moist air meets the cool air to the north, condenses as it rises up the mountain, and dumps feet of snow in the Denver metro. This is exactly what happened Christmas Eve 1982. What was forecasted to just be a couple inches of snow ended up as 2 feet of accumulation, with snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour on Christmas Eve. The wind chill caused by 50-mile-an-hour straight-line winds sat at negative 35 degrees. Holiday travelers by the thousands were stranded at the airport for the entire day as 10-foot snow drifts made travel around the metro impossible.
on Christmas Eve as well, like everyone trying to get home for Christmas. And
Yeah.
that is crazy.
That's a disaster, isn't it? An absolute disaster.
Unexpectedly devastating as it was, there were many stories of strangers who were stranded who came together to help each other get back
That's
home
awesome.
on Christmas
Yeah, yeah.
Day.
Everyone
So
comes
you
together,
see
it's
what
awesome.
can happen when a strong mid-latitude cyclone forms to the south of Denver in the middle of winter. But the mid-latitude cyclone is on a mission, and that mission is to get across the continental US. So, as you can guess, it causes a lot of problems for people in its path, particularly on that northwestern side. A prime example of this is the winter storm of late December 2004.
is that a gas
Throughout these
station?
4
I
days,
think so.
2 major weather systems collided to wreak havoc on the Ohio River Valley. First, you had a swath of Arctic air that was descending upon the Midwest from Canada. At the leading edge of this air mass, heavy snow fell in Minnesota and Wisconsin. But that pesky surface low of the same variety that caused the snow in Denver had developed over Texas. This thing flew to the east in 48 hours, gaining strength as it ingested moisture from the Gulf. That moisture was ultimately forced upward over the Arctic air, condensing into a giant diagonal line of snow, sleet, and
Snow
freezing
going there.
rain, a winter slurry that piled upon Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois over the course of 2 days.
I tell you what, obviously, it's not nice when it, unfortunately, in these things, people do lose their lives and stuff like that, and people go back hard. But I would love for us to have a massive snowstorm over here, for it to be like up to my waist, just for a couple of days, and then it can go back to normal. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it never happened. I don't
You
think.
can do proper snowmen, you can proper snowball fights.
Yeah, I'd like Christmas Day to be snowy.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That's even more than like.
But yeah, it's not likely because I
That's
feel
not
like
like it over here at all.
it's
normally too
March,
cold, I
isn't
think.
it? That is when
Well, it's starting to heat up a little bit.
we get the opportunity to have snow. Probably March.
Yeah, December's normally like way too cold for it.
Medora, Indiana saw a record 39 inches of snowfall. Ohio was
Oh my
decimated
gosh.
due to the ice. 678,000 residents across the state lost power, mainly in Columbus. The Woodland Meadows subdivision, which was one of the largest apartment complexes in the United States for government-subsidized tenants, was hit the hardest. Affecting over 1,000 residents, the power was cut for multiple days, the boiler
That's
system
inside
failed,
as well.
pipes froze and burst, and basements were flooded. None of this was ever repaired, and a few years later, the city voted to demolish the deteriorating 122
just knocked it
buildings.
down.
For those
Wow.
not living in the apartment complex, travel was impossible due to the mixture of snow and ice, and hundreds of flights were canceled.
Yeah, you're just
Interstates
stranded at that
I-65, 70, 71, and 74 were closed for over 12 hours, and hundreds of motorists were stranded on I-64 in Indiana for over 24 hours.
Oh,
The
wow.
storm
God, I
resulted
could
in
not even.
$900 million in damage and 17 deaths. So far, we've seen an
Wow.
instance of a surface low developing near Denver, as well as in central Texas. But how far south can these things bring snowfall? Could it happen in Houston literally the day after the snowstorm we just talked about? Yeah, 2004 was
wow.
wild,
Houston
apparently.
having that
After the
snow.
low pressure system
Can you
exited
imagine?
Ohio, Arctic air spilled southward across the entire U.S. east of the Rockies.
Oh,
On Christmas
wow.
Eve, temperatures were only in the mid-30s across central Texas, with the edge of the Arctic front sitting over Houston.
That's
In
it.
just
You don't associate Texas with mid-30s, do
I
you?
don't associate Texas with any kind of cold.
Yeah,
Like,
any kind of cold now, that can't exist.
south of that front, a surface low developed near San Fernando, Mexico, moving into the Gulf of Mexico. The temperatures were cold enough on that northern side that considerable snow was able to develop on Christmas Eve, dropping 4 inches of snow in Corpus Christi and a whopping foot of snow in Victoria.
bet
It
they
was
were
the first
unprepared
white
as
Christmas
well.
ever for this area. Now, of course, all that snow melted
was a
within
big deal.
48 hours because as that Arctic air lifted, that warm Gulf air came surging back.
Yeah.
But what an incredible Christmas that must have been for southern
Yeah, that's
Texas.
quite surreal,
Now,
isn't
you probably have noticed a pattern
Once in a
here.
lifetime.
These surface lows like to spin up along temperature boundaries on the southeastern side of a trough of cold air. Another place where low pressure systems like to develop is the Atlantic Ocean. Hell, that's what a hurricane is after all, just a very intense one. So picture this. A historic blast of cold air descends southeastward from Canada, covering the Great Lakes, the Deep South, and the Mid-Atlantic. What would happen if a surface low developed over the Atlantic, moved northward up the coast right up against the cold air? If you guess the largest snowstorm to ever occur in the southeastern United States, then you're probably familiar with the Christmas coastal snowstorm of 1989. The wave of
largest
cold air
one.
that
Oh
covered the
gosh.
southeast was
Christmas.
so potent that low temperature records were shattered. Houston Airport measured 7 degrees, High Springs, Florida measured 8 degrees,
That's
Wilmington,
like
North
minus
Carolina
10, innit?
measured
Or
7
minus
degrees,
20.
Even Key West hit 44 degrees. The cold wave devastated the vast majority of citrus crops across the Southeast and even damaged agriculture in Mexico's Rio Grande Valley. Over the course of 2 days,
don't imagine
18
cold in
inches
Florida
of snow
either,
fell
really.
in Wilmington,
No,
North Carolina.
again, I would not associate Florida with cold or snow. It's the South at the end of the day.
Storms, yeah, but not snow.
Yeah, hurricanes, yeah, but not snow.
8 inches in Charleston, South Carolina, 4 inches in Savannah, Georgia, and even flurries were spotted in Tampa, Florida. Lake Waccamaw to the east of Wilmington had actually frozen over, which was only the second time in the entire 20th century for that to happen. Now, this storm was technically a nor'easter, which is what they call a winter storm in New England that involves wind blowing out of the northeast. It does this because the wind blows counterclockwise in low pressure systems, and when they ride up the Atlantic coast, the snow and moisture blow out of the northeast. Nor'easters can get bad, like all-time historic bad. Due to the relatively warm temperature of the Atlantic Ocean in close proximity to cold land, these systems can get very intense. One historic nor'easter that occurred around Christmas was in December of 1969. To add another layer of complexity, the system started off as a surface low that spun up on the border of warm and cold air in Texas, traveled 1,200 miles across the US in 24 hours, and once it hit the Atlantic Ocean, it turned northward and became a nor'easter. It picked up a ton of moisture along the way, creating an environment of intense instability, even dropping a few dozen tornadoes in the deep south. But by the time it reached New Jersey, it stalled out, and that was bad news for New England. Upstate New York, mainly the Adirondacks and Vermont, saw over 30 inches of snow. Montreal saw 27,
That's
and
incredible.
everywhere else saw between
I don't know
10
if I'd
and
like
20
that.
inches.
Again,
You can't even see the cars.
no, you can't. It does seem excessive, but I would love it just for one
For
day,
one
if
day.
that happened. I don't want it to be a constant thing. I'm not a cold fan. I prefer the heat.
But just one time
to
try
have
it out.
a proper snow day, you can go out, sledge, and stuff like properly. It'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Snowdrifts were as high as 30 feet in
That's
some
bolted.
cities. Boston, close to the low center, received 100-mile-an-hour
that's good.
wind gusts. The entire eastern half of the New York Thruway was closed on the 27th, deemed impassable. What may have been worse than the snow is the ice. Over 2 inches of ice
I think ice is
accumulated
actually
on
worse than
roofs,
snow.
Yeah,
power
it's
lines,
dangerous.
trees, and cars in Vermont. And the thing about ice, it's a lot heavier and denser than snow.
Yeah.
Dozens of homes, industrial warehouses, and barns suffered collapsed roofs, killing several people and livestock. It was
that's bad.
reported that this layer of ice stayed on surfaces for an entire month. While New York City escaped the brunt of this particular nor'easter, they're in no way immune to winter storms. Such is the case for the
be
Great
fair,
Blizzard.
I mean, it wasn't anywhere near that. But when we were in New York, there was a bit of a blizzard.
Yeah, there was.
Felt like a bit of a blizzard. It was just probably a bit of normal snow for you guys.
But
that was pretty
there
awesome.
was a lot of snow for us.
Yeah,
because
we
we're not used to that at
were
all.
meant to go on a helicopter ride, weren't we?
But actually, I'm kind of like glad in a way we didn't, because we got to go through Central Park, didn't we? And the
Yeah.
snow and everything. That
And
was
you
really
also got to do a lot more shopping.
got to do a lot more shopping because we
'Cause
got a
before
refund.
we'd
It
gone-
came in. didn't
Yeah, we spent like
think,
£500,
like,
$500 or something.
It came in, the refund, like the day before we were going. So
I think it came in the same day.
Did
I
it?
mean, I'm pretty
because
sure.
we had nothing to do. So because we went to Central 21, didn't we? And
We
were like,
deserted it, and it was on Revolut, and it was like by the time we got to Central Park, I was like, oh, we're fine, because we didn't think it would come until we got home.
So we were
So
like,
we were
oh,
like,
that's a shame, because we were like,
And you were like, oh, Century 21, Century 21, and then we just went and did a load of shopping with like $500.
it was that was good times, guys. When we didn't pay rent, we lived with your mum.
Yeah, when
We didn't have a
spent money.
baby. We were just living with
And
our
it was-
money and using
Like
what we wanted.
nowadays, at $500, well, oh yes, we could put that in savings. Back then, it was like we'd already spent this $500,
So it's
let's
great.
go and spend it.
Of
We were also 19.
1947.
Yeah.
Because most weather systems in the U.S. move from west to east, the Weather Bureau at the time had a system in place to identify and forecast weather systems that would strike New York from the west. So when an area of low pressure developed over the Atlantic Ocean and moved west towards the city, it took everyone by surprise. What was forecasted to be a cold day with flurries ended up as a non-stop intense snowfall with rates up to 3
That is
inches
intense.
an
Oh my
hour.
God.
These
It's
were
insane.
huge snowflake clusters too, which meant one of two things. One, the temperature above the ground was near freezing, and two, there was very little wind. This wasn't like the 1969 nor'easter. It was a very peaceful yet heavy, crippling snowfall. Snowplows were not ready to go, and as a result, the 26 inches of snow that had fallen by the end of the day,
26
December
inches.
26th, had stopped New York City.
Yeah, I'm not
Across the way
surprised.
in
Wow.
New Jersey, it set the all-time record for most snowfall within a 24-hour period with
Wow.
29.7 inches of accumulation. It's estimated that the unexpected snowfall was responsible for 77 deaths. We've
Wow.
covered snowstorms from mid-latitude cyclones and nor'easters, but there's one more important type of snowstorm specific to one area of the country. Lake effect snow. I made a full video about lake effect snow a long
lake
time ago.
effect
Link is
snow?
up here
I've
if
no
you want to
idea. Is it
watch
like
it. But November
rain
and
snow?
December are usually the time when lake effect snow is at its peak. The Great Lakes are still relatively warm and unfrozen, and they can inject a lot of moisture into that dry, cold air, causing
okay.
constant snowfall on the
Sorry guys, I hit the wrong button. I was meant to be pausing this, so hopefully I've edited it right and all. But I was just thinking, how mad is that? Like, there's no snow anywhere else, but the lakes literally causing snow.
Yeah.
It was just a mad graphic to
Mad,
me,
yeah.
and I hit the wrong button, and I stopped recording, and it might look a bit weird on the edit.
snowfall on the lee side of the Great Lakes. Buffalo just so happens to be in the exact spot where lake effect snow is maximized from westerly winds, and
Okay.
this can result in catastrophic multi-day snow events. This particular event was caused by a surface low that developed in northern Colorado and moved eastward on a trajectory that caused the Arctic air to blow at the exact angle of the major axis of Lake Erie. So in other words, directly parallel to the length of the lake, funneling the moistened air into Buffalo and causing 5 days of nonstop snow. By
Wow.
the end of the day on December 28th, 82 inches of snow fell at Buffalo International Airport. The
that.
normal snow accumulation for the
Look at
entire
that, though.
winter
That's
season
mad.
is 93 inches, so essentially the city saw almost an entire year's worth of snow in just 5 days.
Yeah, that's mad.
It blew all previous snow records out of the water. What's even more ironic is the previous month, November, was the first November on record that Buffalo saw no snow whatsoever. The city was
It was
declared a
saving it.
disaster area, and the National Guard was sent in with
Ooh.
bucket loaders to help unearth the city. But because it's Buffalo and the people and the infrastructure are well seasoned for an intense winter snowstorm, the entire event only resulted in 2 deaths.
That's
About
good.
Not
every
too bad,
5
but
to
still
10 years,
two.
Buffalo
Still bad,
has seen
but-
an intense multi-day lake effect snow event, and I'm sure you remember the one that happened this year in November as well. As for a white Christmas this year, we have several systems sweeping through the upper Midwest and Great Lakes region right now, so we'll see if we get that white Christmas. Real quick, I want to thank you guys for all the support this year.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for the support as well. Absolute
That's
legends.
crazy, lake effect snow though. That's really blew my mind.
I didn't know that was a thing, obviously he's done a video on it. He said, if you want us to check that out, if it's worth checking out on the channel, please let us know. But yeah, hopefully a white Christmas. Couple months away.
We're actually
2
not
months
even going to the
yesterday.
UK this year either, so
No.
I'm literally stick me inside. Like,
We're staying inside, staying at home. We don't need to travel.
so I
Give me
literally
the
would be so
snow.
happy with this. Right,
Yeah.
Christmas.
Smash that button if you enjoyed, guys. Smash that subscribe, and we do really appreciate it. And what should we do?
Have a fantastic day.
And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.